Team Jackson, what's happening? So I was just looking through some of my old comments, man, and I saw one from a woman that asked me, yo, D, why is it that every time me and the guy, we hitting it off, things are starting to go really good, that's whenever he pulls away. Now, I've seen this happen quite a bit lately. I don't know if it's a new trend or something like that, but I've never seen it happen outside of one of two reasons. And before we even get into those reasons, let me first explain what I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about when you have convinced yourself that you and a guy are building and things are going great. Y'all got something special when the truth is his patterns, his inconsistencies, his red flags have all said otherwise. You just didn't get the hint until it was a direct message in the form of him ghosting you and no longer answering your calls or your text messages. I'm not talking about that. And I'm not talking about whenever you have, you are dating a good dude and things are going great. Every time that y'all talk about something deeper. I mean, y'all just got a vibe going on, but you still got issues. So you snapping out on him, disrespecting until he walk away. Not talking about that either. I'm talking about when you and the guy, y'all just got a good vibe. Then when y'all hang out, y'all don't want to be apart from each other. It ain't even about sex. After the sex, y'all still want to hang out. You think about him, he thinking about you. And then all of a sudden one day his energy just shifts. It just changes. He don't completely go ghost or fall off the side of the earth, but he stops answering those text messages as readily. He stops answering those calls. He's always busy. Got an excuse here and there. Not a bad guy, not disrespectful, but his energy is definitely changed. If that happens, typically it's because of one or two reasons. I'll start with the less common one. The less common one is his heart is still with somebody else, but now he's catching feelings for you. Like his heart is still with his ex. And that's not to be confused with being able to be in love with more than one person. But you absolutely can still love somebody, yet deeply care for another. So if you're dealing with a guy who, the two of you, whenever y'all started kicking it, it was only supposed to be kicking it, whether physically or just enjoying each other's company. And you're dealing with a guy who also has too much respect for you as a woman and for relationships in general to play with you. But he starts catching feelings. What he's going to do is almost try to fake it till he makes it emotionally to scale things back to where he only wants to talk to you sometime, where he only thinks of you sometime. So a lot of guys, man, especially if they're emotionally immature a little bit, they'll convince themselves that they can kind of force themselves into this friend zone so that they don't burn this bridge or have to completely just do away with you because you are somebody important in their life. Now, again, that's one of the less common reasons. The most common reason that a guy's gonna fall back from you the moment things start getting good, actually is kind of similar to number one. It's gonna be a guy who starts catching feelings for you. He thinks you're cool, except for both of y'all are still single, acting single, dating multiple people, doing what you do, yet he only wants you to focus on him. He wants you all to himself. Now you probably ask him, why don't he just say that? Because if he says that, then that requires him to be all yours as well, which he does not want. So what he'll do instead is throw a temper tantrum. Start doing all this passive aggressive shit. Start blaming you for wanting consistency in communication. Start saying things like, you know what, you gotta talk every day to somebody? We gotta talk every week? Don't you know people got things to do? Start flipping stuff around on you, or just having that conversation where he plays that violin of, I'm just so scared. I'm starting to really care for you. And, but the last time the girl, she broke my heart. You know what I'm saying? She was Freddy Krueger and she was Candyman and she was Jaws and Godzilla. And she just did me so wrong. And I'm just scared, for that to happen again. So I'm not ready, but I am catching feelings for you. So I ain't know what to do but to fall back. Because what that does, especially to a weak woman, a naive woman, it makes that woman shift into prove herself mode. And in prove herself mode, she drops all the other guys that she was dating. She starts doing all these wifely things. She starts holding them down, sharing his SoundCloud mixtape and investing in his dreams and all this, that, and the other, in which all she really did was move the two of them into situationship city without him even having to break his thought lease. So it's a win-win for him, but for her, it's an L. So if you are getting close to a guy and he just started falling back out of nowhere, that's probably why.